Hi guys, and welcome to Escape with Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the Sugess model S451 Jump Hour. I received this watch for free. I don't have to return it, but you guys know the deal by now. It's not going to sway my review one way or the other. I'm going to try and keep it real for you guys every single time. And if by the end of this review you want to pick one of these up, I will be leaving a link down in the video description. That is a link to the official Sugess store on AliExpress. That is an affiliate link. If you use that link, you're not paying any extra. I'll just earn a little bit of commission. That'll help keep the channel running. So for anyone that has used those links, anyone's even watched these videos, I really do appreciate the continued support. The watch retails for about $139 US. That's before any coupons or discounts or anything like that. I'm not sure when this video will go live, but at the time of this, we are in the middle of a sale, and after stores and discounts and coupons, I was able to get this down to just over $105 US. So the watch is offered in 5 different colorways that you can see here. The aventurine dial has a different minute hand as well as a color matched hour wheel. So yeah, just something to know. That's really the only major difference between these things other than dial color. So and then if you do go and check out the link, you'll see you do get a couple different strap options too. And mine actually came with a Milanese mesh strap in the box. So that was kind of my nice surprise. I didn't expect that from them, but yeah, that also came in there as a nice bonus. The watch case is made of 316L stainless steel. It has a mineral crystal with AR coating, has a push-pull crown, a screw-down case back, 50 meters of claimed water resistance. It has actually, surprisingly, Swiss BGW9 Lume on the minute hand and on the dial, and the watch is powered by the Seagull ST1721 automatic movement. So if you guys are looking to add kind of a dressy jump watch to your collection, there's a couple different options out of China. There's the Sugess, there's Merker, they also have one, Fairsuit has one, and then there's obviously a number of non-Chinese brands, but this one should be really close to the top of your list in my opinion. It's actually really nice, so I say we get into it and see why. First, we'll do a quick wrist check today wearing the Watch Dives WD 7922, I believe. This is their new VH31 37mm Black Bay homage, and this thing is fantastic. If you want to see some more pictures of this or get some more information or my thoughts on it, I did do a post down on Reddit, so go check out Reddit Chinese Watches, and you'll probably see my post there recently on this thing. So it is yeah, actually really surprisingly good. $100, yeah, worth checking out if you're in the market for a smaller quartz diver. All right, so let's get into the dimensions. A diameter of 38 millimeters, 11.1 millimeters thick, 20 millimeter lug width, lug to lug of 45.6 millimeters, and on the supplied leather strap, weighs about 58 grams. So I think the size on this thing is great. It's going to fit a lot of wrist sizes. That 38 millimeter dress watch is one of my favorite sizes personally. So really happy with this. You can see nice turn down to the lugs as well, an interesting case shape. But it kind of hides itself nicely, so it does wear pretty slim on wrist. 11 millimeters isn't super thin for a dress watch, but I do think it wears pretty good, and that 11 millimeters does include that top hat crystal there. So yeah, overall I'm really happy with the way this thing wears. It's light, it's comfortable, and it looks really good. So I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here we are on my 7.5 inch wrist, and as you can see, it wears great. It's small, it's lightweight, it's thin enough. You got decent turn down to the lugs there as well, and a thin mid case there kind of hides that thickness a little bit. I think it looks really, really good though. Really happy with the case finishing on this too, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. But yeah, it does look really good. And popping out in some direct sunlight here, you can see a little bit more light play off of the dial there. It does look really, really good, I gotta admit. You can see there, direct sunlight, not an issue. This is a mineral crystal, and those tend to cut down on reflections, and they did put some AR coating on this as well, so the dial is completely legible. I think it looks fantastic. It looks really, really good. All right, let's go throw this on some straps, and we'll get back to this review. And here we are on a dark brown hemsuit leather strap. I think that looks really good. These straps are actually pretty darn nice for the price, so I'm going to be leaving a link for this one down in the video description. Definitely worth it. Nice thin vintage style strap, and I think it does look pretty good on this watch. And here we are on a mesh style bracelet. They do send one in the box, which we'll talk about during the strap show. This is just one that I had already sized up and already out of the box and unpackaged, so I just figured I'd throw this one on instead. Should give you an idea of what that one will look like. But yeah, I do think this one is a pretty good combo actually. And here we are on a dark blue Vario vintage leather strap. I think that actually looks really, really good. The blue kind of makes the blue hands pop. And yeah, blue against silver has always looked nice in my opinion. And yeah, I think this looks really good. What do you guys think of that one? And figure we are in the midst of summer, so someone might wear something like this, a single pass nylon strap, super lightweight. You can see it still hugs the wrist nicely. It's very comfortable, and just a really comfortable overall lightweight package that I think looks actually pretty darn good. This is a CNS watch bands strap. I'll leave the link down below for these ones. This is a raft style, but yeah, I think it looks good. All right, let's go back inside and let's get back to this review. Alright, so let's get real close and we can talk about the case finishing on this thing. So the case is a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. You can see on the tops of the lugs here, you have this almost, it's really interesting. It's an angular brushing, but it goes out. Usually the angular brushing kind of goes this way, but it's actually kind of almost a radial brushing from the center. It looks really good. It's very fine. It's very consistent though. I think it looks fantastic. They did a really good job with it. And then you can see the bezel itself is a polished surface there. Really just, it's not really even a bezel, it's just part of the case there. You can see the case sides, nice high polished case sides there, making it hard to focus here, but yeah, they did a very nice job with it. It's nice and smooth. I don't see any inconsistencies. Looks really good, and you can see the transitions between that brushed surface and that polished chamfer there on the edge there is just razor sharp. So really happy with the case finishing on this. You can see polished on the lug tips there as well. Flipping it to the crown side here, you have a 6.4 millimeter signed crown here, just a push-pull crown. Nice big crown, plenty of grip, no issues with that. But the interesting thing with this case is really just the design of it. Yeah, there's no actual bezel to it, as you can see there. And then you have the case back, which kind of protrudes from the side profile here. It's kind of undercut. So this part here sits on your wrist. This doesn't really touch your wrist at all. It's really just an interesting case. I think it looks pretty good. You can see that mid case kind of cuts almost right through the middle of the crown there. So it's really interesting. I think it looks good though, especially on wrist. You don't really see the weight, I'm going to say, on the bottom of the case there. It all just kind of gets hidden and sinks into the wrist, and I think it just looks really good. Flipping it to the case back here, you have a circular brushing on the case back. Kind of have your new Sugess logo there, which you kind of see from time to time. But it looks good. Simple spec sheet around the outside. I don't like these coin edge style, but you know, it is what it is. People are going to keep using these things. I figured out ways to get them off, and yeah, they're fine by me. But I'd still rather see just normal notches on a case back. But everything here is nice and smooth, and I think it all looks really nice. So let's talk about the crystal on this thing. So the crystal is a mineral crystal. They come out and they tell you it's mineral. I tested it. It is mineral. It does have some anti-reflective coating on it. I believe it's clear AR coating. Either way, I think it looks fantastic. So mineral crystal in general is less reflective than sapphire crystal. Throw some AR coating on it and it's going to look fantastic. I mean, this is a crystal that just kind of disappears in certain lighting. It is a top hat style crystal, as you can see there. Really nice, high clarity at all the angles. It's a really good crystal. If you can get past the fact that it's mineral and not sapphire, I think you're going to love this crystal. For a watch like this, something that you're not going to wear every single day, I think the mineral crystal is fine. I really do appreciate the clarity of it. It is super, super clear, and it just looks really, really good. I mean, you can barely even see that it's there. Right, so let's get real close. We'll talk about the dial on this thing, and the dial looks absolutely fantastic. So you have your outer ring here where your minute track is printed, circular brush, and you have your minute numerals there on another circular brushed section of the dial. Those are separated by this little ring of, I don't even know what to call that, little grooves. I think it all looks really good. Obviously the star of the dial is the middle section here where it kind of has that spiraling guilloche pattern. It looks absolutely fantastic. Really, really happy with that. The cutout for the hour disc there, really nice and cleanly done. Even the Sugess logo is printed on its own little plaque there. I think it looks fantastic. Working our way down to the 6 o'clock sub dial here. This is where your seconds hand are. Again, really nicely done. That it's got that circular pattern on the outside and then concentric circles on the inside. Everything is done really nice and clean. You can see that pop of blue from the hands. They're not heat treated blue hands. They are just painted blue, or maybe PVD coated blue, but I think they're just painted blue. The painted blue, it really does show up a lot better than the heat treated blue. Obviously I'd like to see the heated blue hand, but Yeah, I'm happy with the hands. I think they look fine. Yeah, they're nothing special, but I don't think they look cheap either. I've seen some painted blue hands that look really cheap. These ones don't. They don't look that bad. I do like that little cap there on the seconds hand down there. That's kind of nice to see. But yeah, actually really happy with the dial on this thing. It's very fancy. It looks excellent. I kind of expected this spiral pattern to play with the light a little bit more. It doesn't really change all that much. So just something to note. It does still look really good in my opinion. There is some lume on the dial. I'm going to pop up a little lume shot here. You can see the minute hand is lumed, and so are all the dots around the outside. But the hour disc is not lumed, so it's kind of worthless. So I'm not going to put up a comparison. But obviously the it does have BGW9, and there's plenty of it applied. So it actually is a pretty good lume shot. It's just kind of useless. So it's more of a party trick than anything else. But getting back to the dial here, one thing that a lot of people had concerns with, and why did you lume that hour or that minute hand there? It's going to block the hour disc. But as you can see here, it does not. That hour disc is always legible. So yeah, it's not a issue at all. I think it looks really good. And there, obviously, you can see the switch over is perfect. So yeah, they really nailed the alignment on this thing. Overall, I think the dial has done really nice. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's a good one, guys. They did it right. All right, so let's talk about the movement and the crown on this thing. So the movement is the Seagull ST1721. It's a member of the Seagull ST17 family. They do not hack, but they do hand wind. They are 21,600 beats per hour, so that second hand down there ticks at 6 ticks every second. Roughly 40 hours of power reserve. These movements, they've been around for a while now. I've rarely had any issues with them. Here's how this one has been running, which is pretty accurate enough for a watch like this, in my opinion. So I can't complain with the accuracy on this thing. Everything is operated by this 3 o'clock push-pull crown, which is nice assigned. First position is your hand winding. It's nice and smooth. It's a little loud, but it feels nice and smooth, so no issues there. Second position pulls right out into time setting. You can see there it does not hack, but this is where you set your time. Obviously, the flip over happens immediately at the 60 or 12 position. So yeah, really happy with that. Everything in here fits nicely. Even we'll get to the double digits. You can see everything is nicely centered in there. I think it all looks very good. No complaints with this movement so far. It's been great for me, and the watch in general just looks and feels really good. The movement feels really good, nice and satisfying. There's no ghost eight positions or anything like that. So yeah, can't really complain about a movement like this. All right, so let's talk about the strap that comes with it. So the strap is actually pretty nice. I don't really think the gray goes with the silver. I would probably go with a black strap if I was going to buy this thing myself, but this is the one they sent me. But it's a nice strap. It's not my favorite strap, but it's definitely usable and nicer than the run-of-the-mill stuff that you normally get on watches like these. So really happy with it. It's almost like a suede texture here. Nice stitching, though. It's a good length. I'm kind of towards the end, so up to about an 8-inch wrist, it should be fine. You do have quick release spring bars there. It does say genuine leather. Yeah, it's fine. I got really no complaints about it. It's maybe just a little stiff out of the box, but I think the more you wear it, it's going to break in pretty nicely. You got one floating keeper, one stationary keeper. You do have a signed Sugess buckle there with a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces there. It's not flopping around or anything like that. It's nothing terribly fancy, but it gets the job done and kind of what I expected for a watch like this. So I think the strap on it, I might budget for a nicer strap, but really the one that they do include in it is totally usable. Just get one that you like the look of, and I think you're going to be pretty happy with it. So there you go, guys. That is the Sugess Model S451 jump hour. New release from Sugess, and I think they just kind of nailed it. I know some people will say for this price, you kind of want to see sapphire crystal. I really don't mind it on a watch like this. If it was a dive watch or a tool watch, then I'd say, yeah, give us sapphire. But for a dressier watch like this, that's not really going to get used all the time. Mineral is completely fine with me. You get a really nice, really interesting case, beautiful dial, nice strap as well. Movement seems to be good. You get some interesting lume. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to complain about with this thing. For $100, just over $100 US right now in the sale. If you're interested in a watch like this, a jump hour, it's not something that I was really interested in until I got this thing. I actually do like it a lot. So yeah, I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.